I mean, what do you honestly want me to say? If you're one of those people that believes this win over Duke saved Manny Diaz's job, that man hold on. This man right here, if you believe that this win over Duke saved his job, I think you're mistaken. I'm sorry. I'm just going to be straight up blunt and honest with you. Now, obviously, I enjoyed the win. I'd rather win than lose, of course. But curb stomping a 3-8 Duke team that we are expected to win, a Duke team that beat no ACC teams this year, there is no way that that win alone is going to save this man right here. It's just not. What's going on, Canes fans? What a day. What a day. I want to make it known once again that I am happy that we won the game. Don't get it twisted. Don't take my attitude currently the wrong way. It's just that during the live hangout for the game, we had several heated discussions about Manny Diaz and our coaching staff and potential athletic director hire. So I'm still kind of in argue and debate mode, but I don't want to let that carry over too much into this react video. So I am going to take a few minutes and we're going to discuss some positives and negatives for this game. But before I do, let's just go ahead and clear the air and get it out of the way. I just want to put it all out on the table to kick off the video. Did this win, in your opinion, increase Manny Diaz's chances of being retained? I realize that it's a tough question to answer because we don't honestly, truly know exactly what's going to happen. Only the people up at the top who make these decisions know exactly what's going on with this. You know, we have rumors and everyone has someone that knows someone and this and that, and we've heard various different things, but only those people truly know what they're thinking in their head. Now, obviously, if Manny lost to Duke this afternoon, I personally don't think that he even gets a ride back to Miami because, again, this is a Duke team that was 3-8 and had not beaten a single ACC team. So there's no way he survives if he loses to Duke, especially since he also lost to FSU this season. But a win doesn't necessarily hurt anything, right? But you have to remember the fact that there's still a new athletic director being hired. That's set in stone. Blake James has been canned. So there is a new AD coming in. Rhett Lashley is leaving to go be the head coach over at SMU. And who knows, he might even take some of our current staff with him. So with that being said, there's just a lot of big moves and changes going down at the University of Miami. And I'm going to be just straight up and honest with you with this as well. You could debate either side of it. Now, I'm not going to dive deeper into it in this particular video. We'll discuss it starting next week. I'll post some various different videos and host some live streams so everyone can come in and you know, give their opinion and voice their mind on it. But I'm not going to dive any deeper in this because the whole video would end up just talking about that. But we'll get those videos and live streams fired up starting next week, assuming that this man doesn't get canned before then. So moving on to the game, Miami goes down early in this one 10-3, but then ends up winning the game 47-10. We could have continued to pile on the points, but we ended up plugging in some younger players, and honestly, I'm cool with that. Overall, the game went, well, as we expected. Miami's defense held Duke to just 219 yards, but keep in mind that the Blue Devils offense is truly just that bad. It's absolute garbage. I mean, atrocious outside of Durant, because Durant, their running back, he's okay. He's not too bad. He's actually pretty darn good when you look at his stats comparing it to specifically other ACC running backs. But the point I'm trying to make is Miami's defense has struggled for the majority of this season, and although they did look a little better against Duke and we've continued to improve on missed tackles overall, statistically speaking, I'm still not super hyped on what we're doing defensively just based off of this Duke game, because Duke is doo-doo. And there were some records broken this afternoon. And I want to take a moment definitely to shout out Mike Harley and Charleston Rambo. And you're gonna see me refer to my notes because I don't want to get this wrong, all right? So Mike Harley broke records for total career receptions and single game receptions this afternoon. And Charleston Rambo broke records for single season receiving yards and receptions. I am super, super thankful, guys, that Harley stepped up in that wide receiver room starting last year. Remember last year, guys, all we were talking about were drops. Drops constantly. We were talking about, gloves getting dipped in butter at halftime and all these various things, and we were so frustrated. But this receiver room really, truly has stepped up this season. Look at Tyler Van Dyke's stats. He doesn't pick up those passing yards without actually completing those passes. So I'm super thankful for this receiving room and how they've improved. But specifically for this afternoon, Charleston Rambo and Mike Harley. So shout out to those two guys. And speaking of Tyler Van Dyke, TVD extended his streak to 6 straight games with 300+ yards passing and 3 touchdowns. The man is just on another level. Imagine, guys, if he had been playing since the beginning of the season. If Miami had done better overall, would we possibly be talking about Tyler Van Dyke as a potential Heisman candidate? I mean, think about it. I'm just putting it out there. I don't know if Jake Garcia could take this job from Tyler Van Dyke. All I'm going to say, I'm not making any assumptions or predictions or anything right now because it's way too early. But all I'm going to say is this offseason quarterback battle is going to be wild. And it was also nice to see Thad Franklin pick up a touchdown because he really, really wanted it bad during the Virginia Tech game, and he was close. But today he finally picked up a touchdown as a Miami Hurricane, and I couldn't be happier for the dude. And our running back room looks stacked for 2022, assuming that, of course, that everyone stays. And Borregales ended up going 4 for 4 from 35, 29, 25, and 43. And that's super important because we need him to continue to build up his confidence. Honestly, I might just leave it at that. I mean, there were a few circus catches that were big time in this game. Let's not forget those. But it's the end of the regular season. Everything kind of wrapped up today. We do have a bowl game coming up at some point, but we'll have to wait for that to be announced. I would just like to mention one negative, if I could plug one of them in here, because obviously not everything went perfect. Man, I feel my blood pressure rising as soon as I'm even just starting to talk about it. The kickoff that Duke ran back for 94 yards. Our special teams coverage has been poor and lacking for years, and something has to change, and it's got to be very soon, i.e. next season. We need to see some big-time changes there. Our kicking game improved a lot, with Borregales and Headley, but special teams coverage has been very bad, and we've got to change something, guys. But after ending on that negative, I would like to say that these are very exciting times for Miami Hurricanes fans because there are obviously some big-time changes coming up, and whether you agree or disagree on Manny Diaz being retained, at the very least, we know a new athletic director is coming in. That's a fact because Blake James has already been fired. So there are going to be lots of changes during the offseason, which, for a lot of us is exciting because we're trying to look at the positives, and we feel like that we're kind of pushing the program in the right direction. So, I mean, we've got the new athletic director. Rhett Lashley is left, so we're going to have a new OC. Are we going to have a new head coach? Is this going to be a complete teardown and rebuild? Stay tuned to find out. Oh, yes, I'm plugging the channel right here, baby. Stay tuned on this channel to find out because we're going to be reporting on it all off season. We're going to continue to do videos. We're going to continue to do streams. It's going to be just like the season never ended in a way. It's just going to transition over to different types of talks. So we're going to do lots of live streams discussing potential candidates and more videos and all that good stuff. But I do want to wrap up the video by heading over to ESPN.com so we can look at the individual stats and we can just take a look overall at everything that went down in the game. So, of course, we already knew final score, Miami 47, Duke 10. I'm gonna focus on the Miami Hurricane stats. We don't care what Duke did. We beat their booty and sent them home. Their season's over and done. So 33 first downs for us, 8 of 17 on third down efficiency. We went for it on fourth down 3 times and converted all 3 times. Thank goodness. 530 total yards of offense. 390 of that was passing, and 140 of that was rushing. We did actually surpass 100 yards rushing in this game, and that's thanks to Jalen Knighton and Thad Franklin, which we'll see their specific stats here in just a moment. 5 penalties for 30 yards. I'm not really complaining about that. That's not too bad. Turnovers, 0. That's big time. Individual box score stats here. Tyler Van Dyke went 34 of 49 for 381 yards and 3 touchdowns. You love to see it. Now, Risk did get some snaps whenever we sat Tyler Van Dyke, and I was kind of curious as to why we didn't see Matoka. I don't know if anybody knows or might have any insight that I'm just not aware of. I don't think that Matoka was dealing with an injury. I thought Matoka would have been the next man up because Jake Garcia, of course, is still injured. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just missing something here. So let me know in the comment section if you know. Jalen Knighton, 13 carries for 51. Thad Franklin, 6 for 45. Cody Brown actually had a couple of big carries, 7 for 35. And then receiving. This is where you love to see these numbers, guys. Rambo, 8 for 101. Harley, 13 for 96. Jacoby George, 3 for 80. Mallory, 3 for 34. Restrepo, 2 for 30. Had that big touchdown catch. Spreading the ball around. I love to see it. I still think the future is looking bright in this receiving room as well, even with the people that are going to be leaving. Defensively, let's see. How many sacks did we have? We had 3 sacks on the day. I actually don't feel like we got that much pressure on Duke's quarterback. That could definitely be better. We are kind of beaten and battered and banged up a little bit, and we are dealing with some injuries. But just defensively, all around, has got to be better. I just wanted an excuse to yell at Manny Diaz, I guess. Marcus Clark did have the interception, so that was big time. And Jacoby George is continuing to show that he's definitely a threat in that return game. And I think we might have a little something cooking up right there with Jacoby George. So, guys, again, I'm so excited thinking about the future for this program. And I hope and pray that we take our time and make the right hires. But, guys, we also have to be careful because there's a lot of other big-time schools out there looking for head coaches and looking for people to fill their staff. And so we have to move swiftly, but we gotta be smart about it. We've made too many mistakes in the past to rush this hire and just get someone in there just to get a body in there. You know, and the recruiting, the early signing period is coming up. Manny Diaz, said in his interview today, he's making in-home visits tomorrow. And a lot of people saw that as, oh, well, Manny's being retained. You have to understand, guys, that while you have your job, you are going to continue to do your job until you are told otherwise. So right now, Manny is employed at the University of Miami. He's not going to just stop working while he's still employed. You got to hold up your end of the deal. And right now, he still has a job. So that's really going to be it for me. Nothing too crazy, nothing too wild in this one. But we're going to continue to ramp things up as we go throughout the offseason. And, of course, again, the bowl game coming up, we'll figure out all of that, who we're going to be playing, where we're going. And we'll hype that up a little bit, too, to go out with a bang. So leave your comments down below. Answer some of these questions that I ask in the video. I would greatly appreciate it. But remember, though, guys, we're all one big happy college football family. But at the end of the day, I got to say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out.